Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitatvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing now the Vedanta Sangraha of Sri Ramaraya Kavi. We just completed the 10th chapter where he is discussing essentially about Jnana, nature of Jnana Swarupam, where he discussed both the objective knowledge as well as the knowledge of the self also, which is essentially Nitya Jnanam, and other one is obviously Anitya Jnanam or Padartha Jnanam. And now we are discussing about the nature of the knower and the known. And here, which is same as Kshetra, Kshetrajna Vibhagaha. This is a title in the 13th chapter of Gita, where the Krishna talks about Kshetra, Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogaha. And this essentially essence of that chapter also. Now, is going to define which chart is Kshetra and what is Kshetrajna here. Number 1. Darsitayoho drukdrusyayoho padartayoriva kshetra kshetrajna padabhyam vyavaharaha. So here it says Darsitayoho, along the categories, druk drusyayoho padarthayoho. So in the philosophical discussion, we had started this Vedanta Sangraha with two aspects, druk and drusyam. That's how the whole book started, where druk is a seer and drusyam is a seen, and that what was discussed as drusyayo padarthayoho is same as kshetra kshetrajna padabhyam vyavaharaha. In the transaction also it is called kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetram is drusyam and druk is kshetrajna. And that's what it says, kshetram drusyam kshetrajnam druk. So kshetram in the Krishna talks about, and kshetrajnam is the seer and kshetram is the seen. So seer, seen is the whole world. So there is a knower known and the seer seen. So any duality where unconscious entity, another unconscious entity are divided. Here we call it kshetram, field, kshetrajna, knower of the field, and kshetram is a drusyam and kshetrajna is druk. Ahankaradi dehantam sarvam karyam karanam ajnanam cha kshetram. So he is here defining what is kshetram. Ahankara adi dehantam. Ahankara means the ego, that is I am, this is a ego. Dehantam, starting from the ego all the way to the body. Sarvam, everything. Karyam, that which is created, that which is the effects, that which is essentially a products or karyam, and also the cause. So that which is cause for the effects. So both karyam and karanam also, and therefore karya karanam sambandha all are included. And whenever there is a cause and effect relationships, cause is forward, before, and the effect is later. So time factor also comes into the same picture as a part of the kshetram. Here, sarvam, karanam, ajnanam cha. Even the ignorance also is also part of the kshetram. And etat yo vetti sa atma kshetrajnah. And the knower of this, who etat yaha vetti sa atma, is a kshetrajnah. So knower of all this, of the kshetram, is the atma, is the self, and therefore here defining kshetrajna is same as atma, and atma and kshetrajna is an knower of the kshetram. Therefore druk is the kshetrajna and kshetrajna is atma. So all are connected here. Jnana swarupopi atma swaprakashatvena sarva avabhasakatvat kshetrajna iti uchyate. So here he says, what is atma? Atma is satyam jnanam anantam atma. Says that is pure knowledge, conscious entity. Jnanam is jnana swarupam, and he says jnana swarupopi, even though its nature is of the nature itself is a intrinsic nature. Swarupa is intrinsic nature itself is a jnanam. Atma swaprakashatvena, because it is self-revealing. So prakasha means self-shining. Self-shining means you don't need another light to see that. So it's a, say I want to see the sun, please bring torchlight for me to see. I don't need a torchlight to see the sun, because sun is self-shining. This is important for the Vedantin also, because he wants to know how am I going to know Atma. So when I not this, when there is no instrument to know, then how can I know? So question itself, how can I know? That I is the one who is Atma. So the one who is inquiring himself is Atma. So how to know it? How to know it is self-revealing. Self-revealing because it is a Swayam Prakasham. So the example I give is in the pitch dark room. You are sitting there and says, hey, is there a chair there or a table there? I said, I don't know whether the chair is there or not because I cannot see. And what about you? Are you there? So he says, it's too dark. I cannot see myself. Do you say that? Because I know I am there. So how are we going to know that you are there? How do you see? Because it's too dark. I don't need a light for me to see myself because I am Swaprakasham. I am light of consciousness which illumines everything. Jyotir Jyotihi, Swayam Jyotihi. Even the light is lighted because of me. Because I know, because I can see the light. That means I am illumining even the light also. But I don't need any illumination. It's also called aprameyam. No means of knowledge is required. Just as we gave example last time, is when the clouds that are covering the sun, when the clouds are removed, then what else I have to do to see the sun? You don't need anything. Sun is shining all the time. All you have to do is look, open your eyes. So there is self-revealing. I don't need a light to see a light. That's why. So in the Swaprakasham, that's what it means. Swaprakashatvena sarva avabhasakatvat. So not only it's Sarvaprakasham, it is sarva avabhasakam. It shines everything else also. I am not only conscious entity, but I lend my conscious to everything else. So this is avabhasakatva means it's not like illumining like a light outside, but illumining because of which I know. That's what illumination means. That's what the Vedic arati that is done in front of God, and is along now you have different types of aratis, but in the Vedic arati it says na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto banti kuto yamagni tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So, natatra suryo bhati, I don't need sunlight to see you. Natatra suryo bhati, nachandra tarakam, neither the moonlight is required or the light of the stars are required. Achandrata nema vidyuto bhanti. Now the electricity is light is required. Say, Tvameva bhantam, you are the light. I don't need another light to see you. At the same time, he is showing the arati and saying this one. So, Tvameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Everything else is anubhati because you are light of consciousness and it illumines everything else. So, you are the kshetrajnaha and everything else is illumined kshetram. So, here, sarva abhavasakatvam kshetrajnaha. And therefore, that light of consciousness, because of which I am conscious of everything else that I can see. So the objects that I may be limited that in front of me, but I am conscious of everything that through the senses I can see. Sarva abhavasakatvan kshetrajnaha iti uchyate. That's what is called kshetrajnaha. Same as Atma. And so here in this, he is equating. There are druk drusyam, and the druk is the same as kshetrajnaha. Kshetrajna is because of which I know the kshetram. Kshetrajna means knower of the kshetram. What is kshetram? Everything is said. Ahankara, including ego also, I know. Dehantam. So the ego is that starting from ego, everything else is dehantam, is the body and so on. Sarvam karyam, all are products, and therefore they are sarva karyam, karanam, ajnanam, even the ignorance also I know. So everything is known. So because I need not know myself, I know as I am, and everything else is up. How about you? I know you. That means you are in my consciousness. What you are in consciousness is only your body, of course, and I consider you is the body, but I cannot see your mind, nor I can see your consciousness. You say, I am an independent conscious entity. Who is claiming? His ego is claiming. So everybody say, I am. That so-called I am is only one part of the ego. Ego involves two aspects. One is I am this. That is equating. This comes under kshetram. I am coming from the pure Atma and joining what Gurudev used to call the unholy marriage of the kshetram and kshetrajnam is a product of ego. So ahankara involves, hey, I know, but I know part, I part is coming from this one, and whatever I equate as I am this, all this is only kshetram only. Kshetrajna is I am. So in the very ahankara itself is another notion in my mind that I am this. That is what he is talking about. Starting from ahankara, dehantam, including the body, mind and intellect, all are either is a gross body at the gross level. This is idam sariram kaunteya kshetramichya vidhiyate. So Krishna starts, what is kshetram? Idam shariram. Idam shariram means this body, not only gross body. Anything that can be pointed out as idam, that you think that as aham, is a part of the shariram only. Starting from the body, gross body, hey, I am here, I am not there. What he's saying is, my body is here and my body is not there. But I am here, I am there is only a transactional reality. For transactions you can say that, because I am here, I am not there, how can I see, and so on. But no, you have to understand that I am here is only identifying I am with the body. That is what kshetrajna and kshetram are mixed together, and that's part of ahankara. So it's called unholy marriage, and because that is a precious one, I am is the most holiest thing, and anything this is a part of the garbage only, ultimately becomes garbage only. So therefore it is the marriage of these two is what is ego. And dehantam means all bodies including the the gross body as well as the mind and the intellect, the subtle body, and as well as the Anandamaya Kosha or the causal body, all are bodies only. Dehantam includes everything that is part of the Kshetram only. Etatyo vetti sa atma kshetrajnaha. So, knower of all this is Atma, sa Atma, that self is Kshetrajna. Now he is equating the Kshetrajna with Atma itself. And Krishna in the 13th chapter, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vitti sarva kshetreshu bharata. So Kshetram says idam shariram kaunteya kshetrajnamiti niyate etad yo vitti Prahu Kshetrajna iti tadvidah. So this is a Kshetram, idam shariram. This body is Kshetram. Shariram includes everything here. And knower of this is called Kshetrajna. That is Drusyam he has defined. And then immediately he says Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In all Kshetrams, know me as the knower. Know me means know Lord Krishna is the knower. So it is the Ishvara is the Kshetrajna. Here the identification is Atma is the Kshetrajna. Ishvara stands for pure consciousness enlivened in the Maya Shakti is the Ishvara. Is a pure consciousness enlivened in the local body is the Jiva. So the consciousness part of it is because of which I am conscious of everything else. So he is a Jnayam, he is the one knows everything, therefore he is Kshetrajna. So here Atma and Kshetrajna are equated in this, and this etatyo vittihi sa atma kshetrajna. Now one knower of all this, that self is Kshetrajna. Jnanaswarupopi atma swaprakashatvena sarvabhavavasakatva kshetrajna iti uchyate. Why is it called Kshetrajna? Because it is, even though it is of the nature of Jnanaswarupam, Chaitanyam is pure consciousness, even though, but and swaprakashatvena, Atma is self-shining by itself, but it illumines everything else. So since there is everything else to be illumined, illumines is known, that means he is a knower of that, therefore is called Kshetrajna. Illumination means also not only the revealing, but revealing via consciousness. That means I am conscious of. That's what is the sarva avabhasakatvam. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So in the Arati he says, you are not only the light, but you light everything else. Then why is he showing this light? But by seeing, says, I am seeing it because I am in the process recognizing you are the light of all lights. You don't need this light, but for me to see, at least temporarily, in this form, I am using the light. So all that has to be understood. But if I am in the very process of the doing puja, mind is taken beyond the idol and the worships and all that. In the next chapter is going to talk about bhakti, but here Kshetrajna is essentially talks about Jnana Swarupam itself also. Now we will go into next paragraph. Antakaranam chakshuradi indriya jatam cha jnana sadhanani jneyani eva. So here, what about the antakarana chakshu adi indriya jatam cha jnana sadhanani? So the antakaranam, the inner instruments, that is there are four aspects involved: the mind, the intellect, and the memory, and the ego, ahankara, which called as antakaranam. So the inner instruments, and also external instrument, chakshuradi, eyes, etc. Indriya jatam, that which are born of the indriyas, that is the faculties of the sense faculties as well as the faculties of karmendriyas. Indriya jatam cha jnana sadhanani. So this is a means for knowledge. They are sadhanam. They are only equipments to know. So if I want to see something, is there an object chair? So say, I don't see any chair. Say, open your eyes first before you say this I see or not. So when I open my eyes, so eyes becomes an instrument, and even though eyes can I open, but if I cannot see still, that means there is a faculty of seeing is also has to be operating. That is the sense organs. The other one is one called golakam, only outer open aperture. And same way we have, as you age, the hearing goes down, even though you have ears, but you cannot hear, and you have to use hearing aids and all that. That's what is happening also. So as the things go, the faculties of the sense faculties are getting withdrawn. It's a signal that time to go, because when all the sense organs, sense faculties are withdrawn, it's getting packed to go to the next level, next place, where next vasanas are to be exhausted. So here, jnana swarup, the antakarana chakshuradi indriya jatam cha jnana sadhani. So all the things that can be known via the sense organs also, they are all instruments for jnana sadhanam, for the knowledge to take place. For me to know any perceptual objects, I need all the five senses to operate. If none of the five senses are operating, there is no jnana sadhanani. Even though I am there inside, but things are not working. I cannot see, I cannot hear, I cannot touch, I cannot smell, I cannot taste. You think he's a vegetable, and that's why they keep saying, hey, you cannot do anything, you should pull the plug. So that means there is no interaction with the world outside if you don't have five senses operating. That's essentially is the jnana sadhanam. To interact, to know the world, I need five senses, and to know the subtler world, I need the jnana chakshus. That means the eyes of knowledge or wisdom. So to understand the higher mathematics and all that, not physical eyes, but I need a prepared eye, which is called jnana chakshu. And to know the highest knowledge, I need a real knowledge, real jnana chakshu. That's what is the Lord Shiva's eye, the third eye. Third eye means it is the eye of wisdom. That is what is required. And these are all sadhanani. They are instruments for knowledge. Jnayani eva, and they are also knowable. They are not jnana sadhanani and jnayani eva. They are also can be known or can be seen. I can see, and my eyes that I can see. I can see that I can see. And if it's too dark, I can see that I cannot see. So all this are possible because even the instruments that I can see. So I know that I am not able to hear. So that means knowing. I know that I cannot hear. I hear, but I cannot hear. All those things are possible because they are also, not only they are instruments to know, but even them can be, instruments also can be known by one way or the other through the equipments. So, jnayani eva, chakshusha pasyami, he gives an example here, chakshusha pasyami, manasa dhyayami, ichadi anubhavat. So I say, I am seeing through my eyes, I am hearing through my ears, and I am smelling through my taste. And if you are not feeling well, the taste buds, the buds they don't work. It's actually a wonder. When I put something in the mouth, and immediately a signal goes, hey, this is hot or this is sweet and all that. So the connection between a product out, the object inside, and the sense input to the brain, and interpretation of that as a sweet heart and so on and so forth is all programmed actually. And here, Chakshusha Pasyami, Manasa Dhyayami, with the mind I am able to meditate. Ichadi Anubhavat. These are experiences of everybody. At the same time, so I am an instrument, so Chakshusha Pasyami, using the eyes I can see, they are so Jnana Sadhanani. At the same time, Jneyani, so I know also the instrument also. It says, Chakshuhu idam, Manaha idam, this is my mind, this is my eyes, this is my intellect. So I know my mind, I even changing my mind, I don't mind changing my mind. All these things are means I can change. They are instrument for me to change. Therefore, they are not only the Jnana Sadhanani, but also Jneyani. They are also objects of knowledge themselves also. So both iti, ich anubhavascha. Therefore, it is the experience of everybody. Therefore, not only they are instruments for knowledge, but they are also objects of knowledge. Nacha aham pasyami iti anubhavat ahankara eva kshetrajnaha iti vachyam. But aham pasyami iti anubhavat, so ahankara eva iti chatra iti kshetrajnaha iti vachyam. But people say normally that I am seeing, I am hearing, and I am doing, I am thinking. All those, I am doing this, I am this. This is normal, everybody uses. And this is a 99%, 99%, everybody uses that for that, and therefore it is anubhavat, and because of that, transactionally, that's what it is. Ahankara eva kshetrajna iti vachyam. And people say, therefore, the ego is the knower. Who knows? I know it. So do you know it? I know it. He doesn't know it. He knows it. He is a very knowledgeable person. We are taking as an egotistical statement. That means he is ahankara, he is a knower, and therefore he is not a knower, even though both are atma, both are kshetrajna. So from the point of the knowledge wise, transactionally, we use ahankara, the ego, as the knower. That's what it is. Nacha aham pasyami iti anubhavat ahankara eva kshetrajna iti vachyam. Even though that is colloquially said that ahankara is the knower, but that's not really true. Tatra aham padena ahankarasya vachyatvepi atmanam eva lakshatvat. So when you say, I am a knower, I am a doer, I am a thinker, who know who I am, all this, I am this, all that, I am the one who did it. So this is the transactional, there, tatra, in that, aham padena, I am part, is coming from of the ahankarasya vachyotyepi, even though for transactional purposes it is the ego that we are referring to, but atmanam eva lakshyatvat. But what is indicatory meaning is that self alone is, because I am part is coming from some pure consciousness, because I am a conscious entity. I am not a inert entity. I cannot know myself because I and self, because there is a subject object we are telling, and the self itself is I am. But when you say I am as an ego, we are referring to the ahankara, but in that ahankara, atma is the lakshyam. So what do I do for meditation? In every ahankara, I am part is there. Shift the attention from the I am this part to I am part in every I am this part. So that's essentially what has to be done, and as a part of the meditation here. This is the Atmanam Eva Lakshatvat. What is being pointed out is the self in you. So when you say ahankara, Ahankara is, even though for transactional purposes, ego is the knower, it is not the ego that is a knower, Atma is the Kshetrajna. It's only Lakshyartham is the self, only Vachyartham is. For transactional purposes, you can say he is seeing and she is not seeing and so on, but even though there is only one seer there. Or you can explain Yadva, or in another way to explain is Sachaitanyasya ahankarasya jnatrutvat kevala ahankarasya jadatvat ahankaragataha chaitanyamshaha eva jnata. So here we see there is another way of describing this that we will take up after we come back. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.